everyone! So it's that time, the once-a-year bus update. I'm just kind of joking. I just know it's been a year since I put any videos out on the bus itself. So we're going to try to do a little update. Not as much has happened with the bus as one would hope. But recently, I was extra motivated. I don't know why, because it took a while to get motivated again. And so, I think it was the cold. The cold was coming. So there were quite a few projects I needed to get done. I built a front door that's one piece instead of having this bifold. I don't even know what you would call the two doors that swing and come together. I see a lot of people, sometimes they replace them where they put something else there. Maybe you put wood, or those are all cool ideas, but I really like the look of having a bus door. But I don't like the draft. And pretty much impossible to try and seal that door up. And usually there's a big gap at the bottom and gaps around the tops and the sides and the middle. Back up, Cruz. It's about ready to get crazy over here, Cruiser. Cruiser is about ready to get crazy. Okay, well. Oh, you guys left again? Well, we're back. Camera's rolling again. So we squared this thing up. We put little line markers on here. This is... And it all came off of our prints that we ordered up and had engineered for the door. So these measurements, we pulled directly off the prints from the engineer. So now we're going to tack weld that on, and then we're going to do 2 more of them. And it should be pretty good. Got some dikes. I think the cameras are all in. The welder's turned on. Got my sandals on. You good? Now it's definitely moving too far. Oh, my toes. Okay, we're back. We tacked it up. Engineer Jason says hang on it. Do the hang test. So I'm just going to do a... should I do that? I'm going to break my whole door. Maybe just a... I think it's fine, dude. I don't need to hang. I'm 200 pounds. I think it's good, though. Cool. So we'll do a few more. Just don't look at the bottom, because that's ugly. Yeah, I got like something underneath here. You got in here? I don't know. I screamed. So we got the other one welded on. We're going to put the door on here. It's getting a little crammed, but we're going to do it. Yep. Uh-oh. It's too much. Oh, it's because it's sealed. What if we did the top first? Here. Yeah, screw gun. The screw gun's right here. Just you got that knife out there? What is this, glued? Yeah, if we can cut it in here somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah? Oh no? Oh yeah? Let's take it back off. We're going to have to grind those bolts off. Sorry. Because they're trying to go back into that hanger that's in the way. Now we're just regressing. It's cutting wheel, right? It's almost right on. As far as my lines go. Let's have a door again. Almost have a door again, and it's only been like 2 hours. Huh? Yeah, our mechanized bug out vehicle. Pretty well gone. A lot of water's been sitting in there, rusted away the whole bottom step, and it looks like it's been going on for many years. So took care of that, cut it out. We're gonna reinforce around the edges, and put another pan in there, and then I installed a little gutter over the door up here. Install a little gutter. That way we can alleviate some of the water issues later on. So I've gone through and cut out all the rust, put some new supports in, re-welded that bottom assembly, whatever it is. It like helped open the door. It's contained inside of a box. It's the step. So I've got all the support around here now. Everything's all welded up nice. And I was thinking about putting some more sheet metal down, but I think there's going to be a lot of water there no matter what I do. I put this gutter up here, but there's going to be water back in there, and it's going to sit in the bottom of that stair, so it's probably going to rust again. I have a bunch of these old signs that sit out in the rain, and I think that these would be the perfect metal to go, these would be the perfect metal to finish that off with. So we're going to do that instead. So you can see it now. I went ahead and left this padlock on here. This is the original padlock when we bought the bus. And I figured that'd stay on there permanently. So that's closed up. Just going to leave it there. I'm thinking about mounting some different doorknobs all over this, so you don't know what doorknob to open the door with, but this needs to be painted and finished up. And I need to add a piece of flashing kind of down here, cover that whole area. But this is just that cheap doorknob. One piece door. Looking good. Just got some weather stripping in here. This is all kind of temporary. I'm trying to figure this whole thing out before I paint it all, and then I'll finalize that whole install. But yeah, it's nice. You can walk away from the door. You don't have to worry about it kind of swinging open and whatnot, and making sure your dogs aren't gonna run out. That's it. It's nice. Secure. Much better. Need to start doing some painting and some rust treatment underneath the bus, and I shouldn't put that off any longer. So yeah, we have the new front door, and it's sealed, and it is wonderful. It's not complete, much like all the other projects, but it's gonna be complete, and right now it's probably like a 600% improvement over the two-piece door. In the front, I have this bulkhead up here right behind the camera. I know you guys can't see it because it's right behind the camera, but I wanted to use some rough sawn cedar that I had and put together kind of like a nice natural edge, rustic wood cover for that. And then I have a friend who talked about me putting something like that together so we could paint a mural on it. Well, now I have a trusty cameraman, Jason Oh, I can't use your name. Okay. So this is, remember when I was talking before and you couldn't see what I was talking about, and the natural edge wood on the bulkhead? This is that. And I had to seam it in the middle. I had to seam it in the middle, but that, not a big deal. Not a big deal. So we'll take that down, sand it the rest of the way, paint that black behind so it's all clean looking, and get that muraled up. We talked about the door. Oh, Jason, should we start the generator?
Sure.
That you fixed? You guys, well,
It's combined effort.
yeah. If I did the fuel pump and then I sat there and watched you clean the carburetor, so it's. But yeah, there's generator does start, and it's not too loud, but we can start it up, and hopefully something bad doesn't happen that I don't know what will happen. But uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.
It's been a while since we ran it.
It's been too cold. Uh-oh. It wants to start.
There it goes.
So apparently, it's running a little rough. It'll probably even out. Look at this. Look at this honesty in video. And there you go. Lights just switched. And we're running on generator power. Because it has those power switches inside that switches that automatically. Or we could just be feeding back into the lines. I don't really know. But, it's having a hard time pushing that,
Go out, take a look at it. Make sure it sounds right. It sounds different in here.
There it goes. Got the dunk in there probably still.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, now I'm all happy. Now I'm all, Jason came and fixed it again, so wherever we go, I'll have Jason fix it. That's good. That works. Nice to have a generator. Generator sounds a lot better, and you can see everything isn't shaking. But I mean, right now, oh, has my power been off here? I'm gonna turn the inverter back on. Let me turn off that heater up front, so it's not so much juice on the inverter. But I have battery backup on my tower, and so that's what was beeping before, but I'm pretty sure that with the inverter turned on, I can turn the generator off, and it's going to use the inverter on the in-between before it switches back over to the shore power. I don't know, I didn't hook this thing up. I wish I kind of knew a little more about it. Maybe someone can help me, but I'll turn the generator off. And apparently the heat pump wants to turn on right when you do that, so that's a big load. But you can see it's still on the inverter. And then now I have AC power. So my assumption would be that those power switches in there do all that work for me. And I don't need to go yank it from the shore power, so that way the linemen don't get shocked. But maybe I will yank it from the shore power. So yeah, if anyone knows anything about that, this heart interface by Freedom, that'd be kind of cool to know a little more about that. Go, 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 go. The sign wall, like I mentioned before, I put the few hours of work in that was needed a while ago and finished that out. So now I'm going to continue to move up with some rough sawn lumber and finish this whole thing out and trim all this. But yeah, the sign wall's done, and I wanted to do that before I put everything back in here because the heat pump was out and the stove was out. So here's the stove rebuilt. And then I remembered that my stove was not working like it should last year, and it was getting colder and colder, so it was time to tear into that. And now with this stove, I followed somebody else's directions online a long time ago, before I really knew a lot about rocket stoves, and I followed dimensions that were given in a blog post for that stove. And I will say that those are completely wrong. I put an annotation on the other video. Don't make a stove like that. Make a stove like the one that I'm going to show you that I just made, and it works much better. Hello.
There we go. Yep.
Hello. Okay, so as you can see, we took apart the stove because it didn't work too well, because we just took people's word for different dimensions and plans on the internet, or didn't do the proper research. So we're cutting it apart this year so it'll work better for next year. We're cutting it apart this year so it'll work better for this year, rather, as soon as possible. But you can see that I had this 3-inch round into this 4-inch square, which I copied exactly from somebody's blog, but it's completely wrong. From what I've gathered, you don't want to restrict as the stove's going forward, because then you're just going to have that blow back into the flame creep coming out, not enough pole going through as the air is restricted. So we're going to cut this off right here, and we're going to replace it with a 4-inch all the way up. And you can see, you can pull the camera over here, you can see how much bigger that 4-inch is going to be over that 3-inch. Look at all the extra air that can move through there. So we're going to do that. We're going to put that 4-inch on there. And rather than trying to insulate it any other way, we have some 6-inch, and we're going to put the 6-inch over the 4-inch. So we're going to replace this with 4-inch, and we're going to put some 6-inch around it, so we could pack that full of insulation, and then hopefully it'll never burn out for all of eternity, and this stove will be working in 12 years. And this is only supposed to add a few 100 pounds onto the stove, I'm sure. So, well, we're going to do that, and then hopefully it works better this year. The end. Hello. Is that a good intro?
Mm-hmm.
So, like everything else we do, we only show you little bits and pieces because we're too lazy to film the progress. So, I think when we left off, we were cutting off the round or whatever. Well, we welded on the 4-inch all the way up to the top. So you can see it here. We have the 4-inch heat riser. And then we took this 6x6 steel and we suspended the 4-inch inside of that in the middle so we can insulate with vermiculite all the way around it. And then it'll last forever, and it's going to weigh probably 400 pounds. Perfect for a bus. So we're going to cap the top off, and then we're going to leave this bottom open, pour all the vermiculite in there, and then we're going to cap that off when we're done, and it'll be sealed for good. Stuff all the insulation in there, seal it, and then we shouldn't have a problem ever again. And then we'll know, and we'll see how well the 4-inch works, and how big of a difference the insulation and going from that 3-inch pipe to the 4-inch pipe will make. So we'll be done with that today, and we'll see. As you can see, we did some more work off camera, and boxed that in like we promised we were going to do, because when we make promises like getting that bus running down the road, we mean to fulfill. So, look, we did this. Don't worry about those welds, they'll clean right up when it's hot. And so now we're going to put some vermiculite to insulate around the burn tube, the burn chamber, and the heat riser. And I wanted to capture it on camera the first time I went to move it to see how heavy it really is. So, this is just welded, but I think that it's, I don't think it's going to be light. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. So, I'm sure once that's back in that barrel, it's going to be really heavy. But look at that. Just leave it like that. So yeah, we got this loose vermiculite from the grow shop, and this is top quality media, much like this video. Right? Okay. But this was what, it says $17, I think we got it for our special discount deal of like $12.99 or something. So the plan is pretty much to just dump it in here and pack it all around this tube, make sure it's in there really nice, and then cap this off, and then it's sealed for good. And you don't have to worry about it burning out and dumping the, oh, look at that. I'm sure stuff's really good to breathe in too. Do you have an opinion on that, Jason? What? Breathing it in?
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to breathe it in. I
don't
think you're supposed to breathe in any dust, really.
What about the metal dust?
Yeah, probably not.
I should stand upwind?
Probably should.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, there we go. And we got some good news too. We got some more wood chips this morning. That'll be our 40-second load of wood chips. I don't know, it seems like it. And this is working really well. Except for the dust. Why would anyone want to buy this and garden with it? I think the wind shifted. So I plan on maybe kind of trying to pack it in there the best I can so it doesn't settle over time. It's kind of like wood pellets. Ooh, up my nose. Feels pretty packed. I think being so fine, there's not going to be much for gaps. Oh, and the sun's coming out. There we go. Yeah. Uh-oh.
It's gonna be time to eat in a little bit.
Okay.
We're working, we ain't got time for food. Right?
Yep.
The 4-inch system in the water heater is still, I think, a little small for this bus, just because they have an upstairs, downstairs, and it's all metal, and the floor is not insulated. So, you know, when the wind starts whipping and you get those colder temperatures, it's still kind of difficult. I have to rely on an electric heater, or I have propane I can turn on or something. Where was I? I knew I shouldn't have went off on that little generator trail, but the stove and the flow into the exhaust pipe, into the windbreak. The guy at the hardware store suggested I put some screen venting around it. That screen was completely clogged with creosote and whatnot from, you know, the starting of that stove, it kicks a lot of that out, and it's so cold that it just sticks right to that wire by the time those gases are at the top of the pipe. So, yeah. Also, sometimes, you know, when I let that fire die down at night as it cools, it gets pretty bad. Took all that screen off, and the stove works great again. And put back in, and I talked before about all the other issues that I had with the creosote on the screen and whatnot, but the stove's back in. It works much better than last year, much better than a few days ago before I yanked the screen off. And yeah, this is it in place. I talked about it already, so I don't really need to talk about it anymore. Okay, I think that's it. Stove, wall, door, floor, bulkhead, generator. That's a lot of projects for 1 year, all done in 1 month, and a lot of sitting around. So we're going to continue pushing forward with all these other projects, and yeah. You can look forward to another bus update in 2 years if we continue this trend. No, it'll be soon enough. Like I said, I'm more motivated now to get these things done. Thank you!